broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Got yourself a gun. Get it. This is my gun. I was like this. Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels. Everybody, boom. Strike a pose. Charlie's Angels. This is the worst gun.
You guys obviously never hold one.
I know. Somebody gonna shoot us.
I get it.
I've shot a gun before.
What? How you shoot a gun,
We'll
Shaprintace?
talk about it later.
I have too, but how you shoot a gun, Shaprintace? Talking about some.
You know, you hold it. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Welcome to another episode where we recap the only show that you need to be watching. It's AfterBuzz TV's recap of ABC's Blackish. Yes. We do this every Wednesday at, what is it, East Coast time? I'm so bad at this. It's 8 o'clock Pacific, 9, 10, 11 p.m. 11 Eastern.
On the East
For all of you watching on the East Coast, hey, we love you. I'm Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope. And I got my beautiful ladies with me.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Shaprintace Lynn. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaprintace Lynn with 2 N's.
Yes. What's up, you guys? I'm your host, Stacy Ike. So happy to be here. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at OneTakeStace. Also, make sure you're using the hashtag ABTVBlackish because we're definitely checking Twitter. We just want to give a couple quick shout outs. Miss Lena Bina, which I'm loving that name, who commented last week using our Twitter, and also looking for realness. Yes, girl, me too. Loved her comment. She talked about how adorable the twins were, which I totally agree.
Yay, thank you guys. And we'll be checking your tweets and your comments throughout the show, so make sure you use the hashtag, like Stacey said, ABTV Blackish, because we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. And shout out to Courtney, our other hostess with the most that she can be here. Yes, hey, Courtney. All right, so let's talk about this episode. It's called Rock, Paper, Scissors, Gone.
That was funny. That was very
What did you guys
funny.
think about the episode?
Hilarious.
I saw it coming because what was his name? Charlie threw the gun out on the last episode. So I'm like, we're gonna talk about guns.
Wow.
Remember that?
I didn't even realize that. That was so
Wait, was that your
funny.
prediction last week?
No, it should have been, but no.
I was like, girl, you in the writer's room? Okay, Shaprintace.
No.
All right now.
My predictions are a little off this season, but
Right.
no.
Well, we just started. So
I'm glad they actually laughed a lot during this episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'd be like, yeah, that joke was all right. It wasn't nothing to call home about.
Right.
But I'll say this episode, I got maybe 4 or 5 good chuckles in there. Pretty good.
My
Out loud.
sister sent me a text message that said, "Did you watch Blackest? Oh my gosh, the utmost hilarity."
Yes.
That's how I knew it was funny. Like, it was such a good episode. And I will say, the best thing about it is I thought Dre and Bo were hella married. Like, they were such a good married couple this episode. They were perfect. Everything about, from the urinal joke to like just everything she did as a wife and he did as a husband. I was like, I'm feeling this.
Take it back. Yes.
That was great. So that was, I loved it.
So now you see them together because first season.
I did not. I agree, but that is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, wow, it took me a whole season to decide I'm obsessed. Like, I was very much into it this episode.
Right.
So I don't know. Hopefully I stay here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about what happened. So, of course, the episode starts off with the neighbor who brings her son over for a sleepover, I guess, for like 3 days. And she asks, there's no gluten here. He can't have all this stuff. No girls on HBO, no gun. And then here's where the issue arises because Bo's like, absolutely not. And Dre is like, absolutely. Do you guys think that people should have guns in their homes?
Yes.
Even with children?
Yes.
Why?
Well, see, I grew up in North Carolina, and North Carolina, everybody has a gun. So, yeah, to protect yourself and protect your family and your kid, people are crazy.
Right.
So, to have a gun but have it locked up and be safe about it because you do have young kids in the house. So, yes, I definitely feel you should have a gun, but keep it locked up. Don't keep it in a little box like Dre did. Right. Keep it in a safe that has a lock and to put away, and the kids don't need to know about it.
What about you, Stacey?
I'm from Texas, so you would expect me to say yes, but I don't remember being like having a gun at the home unless my parents were that secretive, which hats off. But I don't remember having a gun, and I think we turned out okay. So I personally, I'm gonna say I don't want to say no because I don't think I have. I don't know.
Go ahead and say no, girl. That's how you was raised. You had no gun.
I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary. But I don't have a problem if you do. Why do your kids have to know about it? So like it can be very slick and under wraps. You're the only person that needs to be, you and the mom or whatever. So I don't think so.
I didn't grow up. I'm from Kentucky, where clearly all of us are Southern girls. We're like,
right.
It's raised in states where guns should be used,
or like whatever.
I mean, NRA. But I don't remember growing up with a gun in the house. I know my dad had a BB gun, and I like to pull it out and be like, yeah, but it was a BB gun.
Right.
But I think that it depends on where you live. You know what I'm saying? It's great if you grew up in a day and age in a place in a neighborhood where you feel so comfortable and safe that you leave your windows open and nothing happens. But how many times have you guys heard that somebody with a gun killed an intruder versus somebody with a gun killed somebody in their house by accident?
Right.
See, that is sad. And that's what I'm saying. So I don't have a problem with having a gun in the home, but I think because the amount of accidents that happen when you do have a gun in the home is so much higher than people who actually shoot people who are burglarizing their house, I think maybe you probably shouldn't have a gun in the house.
Yeah.
See, but most of those cases are from kids finding the gun and playing with it.
Yeah. Right. Which is why Bo brings up a really good issue. They have 4 kids in the house, 2 really young ones, and then Junior's crazy self. Can
it not be hidden? Like, why?
But these are hidden guns. These guns are not laying out. Most of these cases, you'll find out that these guns are put away somewhere in the back. I mean, I went through my parents' stuff when I was young.
Yeah.
I did go, I was trying to find my adoption papers. I just knew I wouldn't. I just thought I was adopted. What if I had found a gun and I didn't know my parents had it and I'm over here playing with it? You know what I'm saying? I think that's a lot of times what happens.
Yeah, because the truth is it can't be that hidden because it has to be accessible enough where the parents can use it if need be. So you're right. Like, it's like, oh, we can hide it under the bed, but we also need to get to it if we need it. So that's tough. I don't know.
Right. So then for the kids, they all have different reactions. All the kids thought, we have a gun in the house.
Kids are nuts.
Which I think is, I commend them because if they thought they had a gun in the house, they never went to go look for it. Which is good because, some kids are a little too curious and they want to be cool and go find the gun.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What you guys think about each kid's reaction to the guns and the safety in the house?
Hilarious. I kind of saw it coming, though, because you know how they are. And especially Junior's reaction. No, it's cyber terrorism that we have to worry about. I'm going to build up the firewall. You guys can forget about the gun. I'm like, Junior,
it's like you're not even paying attention.
He's right, though. Some fat guy somewhere could be disabling the alarm system. Junior got a point.
I was the kids, the twins' reaction was everything. I don't want to say typical, but it was very character based. Just like you said, very Junior, very. Diane. I always think of her name is Yara. What's her character name again?
Zoe.
I'm so sorry. I love you. So anyway, with Yara and as Zoe, whatever. With Zoe's reaction, it was very like, I'm 14. I'm the only one that matters. The gun really affects only me. I was like, what? Like, how does it? And the kids as well. They were like, wait. So like, we're the cutest. Like, we should really start protecting ourselves. I'm like, these kids are too grown up. All of them are way too grown up.
Right, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. And so then we also see that Zoe decides she's going to learn karate from Pops, which I was like, when you seen Pops do karate?
Right. I love that. That was hilarious.
Really?
No, but did you catch I got shot one time by your grandma Ruby?
Right.
Of
course you got shot by her. I just love it.
Yeah.
And so that's the kids' reaction. And let's talk about work, which I always love when they show work scenes for Dre. His boss, Mr. Stevens, and I think Josh is his name, both think that Dre should have a gun. They're NRA members. And then what surprised me was that Charlie said no gun.
Mm-hmm. Charlie said no gun?
Yeah.
Really?
He was like, you shouldn't have it. It could be really, really bad.
And like,
I missed that because I automatically would assume he would say yes.
That's what I'm saying. I wish they would have gone into detail like what he meant, because clearly he was, it's like,
comedic.
It could be really, really bad, like really bad. Like I would want to know, like, why? What happened? Give us your little story, because there's a story there.
It's always stories with Charlie.
I wish they would have said something.
I would have liked to know what Bo talked to like her friends at work about. Like I know that's not part of it, but I'm trying to. I want to see that parallel because I'm really in love with the scenes at work. Like, I agree. But it also seems weird that she's at home so much more and she's a doctor. I'm like, no, that's weird. So, like, I just want to see.
She's at home more. I think we just
not that
see
she's
her
at home, but we just see her at home. We don't get to see her work life.
But you remember, like, last season, we did see her at work.
And I loved it.
Right.
I want more of that, though.
Right.
I loved it. I thought it was really funny. I love her work character. I love how, like, anxious she is. Like, I think it's funny. It would have been really fun to see what she talked to with, like, the nurses or whatever. Just see what they think. They're probably barely listening. Like, I think that's a funny scene too, just because Bo's really good at being that character as well. So I don't know, just seeing what her friends think.
Right.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Especially on the first episode.
Right.
With the N-word.
That would have been very,
funny.
other people with kids, other moms, I would have loved to see the way they reacted. Oh my gosh. She would have shut everybody down. But that's another story. Yeah.
Right. So back at the house, of course, a neighbor lady gets robbed and burglarized. And she's the one that, you don't have to have a gun in the house. You're not supposed to. It's not good for the kids. I love their neighbor, by the way.
She's hilarious.
You know what? She used to be on Mad TV.
That's what it is.
I watch Mad TV like every week.
That's what it is.
She's hilarious.
I could not
I think her
place
name
it.
is Nicole Sullivan, I believe. We'll look that up. Y'all tweet us. Make sure you use the hashtag ABTV Blackish.
Yes.
Let us know what the neighbor lady's name is
Oh my gosh,
in real life.
hilarious.
We love you guys. So yeah, she gets robbed and she's sad. And so, of course, Dre goes to the gun store to get a gun. Mm-hmm. And you see the hilarity that ensues there. There's an Asian lady who doesn't know anything about a gun. She clearly has a shotgun. And she's over here cocking it like, come on, lady. Don't do that in here.
Like, do that outside. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. Yeah,
Like, he's like, watch YouTube videos to learn about gun safety. Oh, so sad. So sad. But of course, Dre gets the gun and it gets sent to his house. There's a 10-day waiting period. Did they say why there's a 10-day waiting period? Is that just for like, they have to check your background or whatever?
Yeah, I think they do have to do a background check.
That would make sense.
And yeah,
I'd
I don't think they
appreciate
do
it.
psychological evaluations, but they should.
They probably should.
They definitely should.
But I'm saying, how do you sit there and say who's crazy and who's not crazy? Like,
They
By
have psych
analysis.
tests.
I mean,
What
not
do you-
that that's the only way, but that's half of it. We could at least.
but I'm saying, how do you give it? Why would you give a psych test to somebody and they didn't break the law? Because that's the only
You
time we give
psych
them,
tests
right?
to people on TV. Everybody that's on TV right now, they have had to go to a psych test.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, but then why so many crazy people on TV
They
then?
not that crazy.
Wow. They're like, oh no, you're fine. You passed. Oh no.
You have enough like
You're
crazy.
telling me all the. Let me not get specific.
Behind us?
Let me not get
So you're
specific.
crazy, but not like you're gonna murder all of us.
Yes.
The producers crazy.
You're crazy, but not like murderer.
Okay, not murderous.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Oh
I
my
see.
gosh, that's interesting.
Wow,
Wow,
now we
that's
learn something new
interesting.
every day. All right, so then of course the gun comes to the house, and I love the dynamic that we see between Dre and Bo, and how there's like she's like, I'm adamantly against having a gun, and then he says he's been keeping score.
Love that.
With the
whole-
urinal, you always win.
Like the motorcycle. I love when she said, I didn't
never
have
let
your
me have
4
nothing."
kids so that you could die and let me raise them. Like that's such a
Right.
mom. Like I literally fell in love with her because it was just such a mom and wife moment. Like
Right,
all of
right,
it was
right.
very like, listen, I'm the woman of this house, but I'm also the leader. Like even though you think, like it was just very.
And that Eddie Murphy outfit, she was like you ate Eddie Murphy.
Oh my.
Anthony
Take
Anderson,
it
what is
back.
up with this taco meat over your
Really?
chest, your stomach, your whole torso?
Really?
Usually taco meat is concentrated like right on your chest, but it's all over. That baby showed all his taco meat. Okay.
You know he's gonna come for you.
Yeah, he's
is.
gonna
Come for
twitch you
you.
tonight. Like
That's
damn.
fine. Come for me with your taco meat. We love it. We love it. All right. So of course, Bo says no to everything, and he's like, "This. I've been waiting for this. I'm keeping score." And I feel like this is really what happens with married couples. The wives are like,
Oh,
"No,
yeah.
no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Right.
Can't do this. Can't
Yeah.
do that." And finally, the men are like, "No, I'm gonna put my foot down. I'm doing this."
Yeah.
So he has the gun, and we see that there is a burglar scare in the house. The kids come running in the room. They think there's a burglar in the house, and then we find out it's Pops.
Yeah. Can we go back to Junior and how his little firewall plan
Totally ruined.
totally ruined it,
the
because if it was a
security.
real burglar, it would have been over. And
He was
Right.
like, what'd you do? What did you do? Like, I love that. The thing is so funny. I just realized, like, all of that happened in 22 minutes. Like, so much happened in 22
Right,
minutes. Like,
right.
it was like beginning of gun argument, gun burglary scare, no gun.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wish there was less. Sometimes I love the situational setup, but sometimes I would love for this stuff to play out for a little bit longer, just to see if anything develops with these situations. I don't know. It's just so interesting. I just realized all of that happened in one episode.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Right. And I think they did good, because I think there's some times where we felt like we needed more time for that, but I feel like they
Right.
got everything accomplished in the 22 minutes that
did.
we are allotted.
I agree. I
for
just
this
can't
show.
believe it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That was all today.
So then, when I saw Dre with his hand in the box, did the gun fall out or was the gun still in the box? I couldn't tell.
No, it was still in the box.
Ah.
He just held his hand.
He just held the hand. I guess
Okay,
it was
gotcha.
still in there, and I'm pretty sure it was not loaded.
Right. They don't send you. They're not going to send you a gun loaded in the mail.
That is
Right.
I didn't even think about that.
Like, you didn't even open it.
Oh, that's hilarious. I literally didn't think about that. That's so funny.
But did you hear Bo when she was like, keep shooting and don't stop shooting till your fingers cramp?
Right.
Like, really?
So missing
to the
anti-violence.
light. Yeah.
Like, no. But, you know,
Oh
it's
my
different when
God.
people, you know, a lot of people that are against violence, it's different when something violent has happened to you.
Yes.
And that's the one thing that we see when Bo tries to get understanding from Dre about, like, why do you feel the need to have a gun so badly? Help me understand. And what he says is very telling and very real. He says he's grew up, you know, having to watch his brother's back as they're talking because of all the violence that he's around. And I think it's hard for people who didn't grow up in that environment to understand why you would want a gun or why you feel the need to be protected at all times.
Yeah.
Well, I think it can be hard. Like I just said, I didn't grow up with a gun, but it doesn't mean I don't watch like CSI. Like I think it's still.
You got your gun.
You can watch 5 episodes of Law and Order and be like, I think I need one. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. So in that regard, I think I understand why Bo was like that more. I think it was more because she was a parent versus like, oh, I didn't grow up like you did, and I'm a hippie or something. So you know, who knows?
Right. And so, it was such a good marriage moment as well because she tried to find the understanding. She's adamantly against guns. She sees people get
Like,
shot
make the
at
right
work.
decision.
Right.
Make the right decision.
But make the right decision.
But write the
You know
right
what that
one.
means. Make the right decision. Make the right decision. And so he decides he's gonna give the gun back. He's gonna send it back. They're not gonna have a gun in the house. Do you think he made the right choice?
Well, he did.
He didn't send it away. He gave it to Pops. He was like, if I
I'm
need
saying
it,
he was
like-
going to send it away. Like that was his decision that there wasn't gonna be a gun. Do you think that was the right choice?
No, because their firewall is not beefed up.
Right. So as long as Junior's still worrying about that, you need to get that together. Wow, I don't know. It's hard to speak as like someone who's not a parent and think about like how you would protect your kids. Like, okay, if you're not home, I mean, it's scary.
Yeah.
Like you know, security systems are just so much. Like, I don't know. The whole episode, I was kind of thinking, I'm like, damn, my parents had a lot going through their head. Like, I just kind of feel bad. Thanks, you guys.
Shout out to the parents.
Thanks, parents.
Gosh, for real, it's a lot. Like, yeah, it's a lot. I don't know.
I think based on what had happened, he almost shot Pops. He almost shot his father. If the gun was loaded, we clearly know it wasn't loaded.
Yeah.
But, you know, that would have been horrible if he had shot Pops in front of the kids. Like, that's just horrible.
I guess you're right. Because I was like, he could shoot him in the foot, but you're right. Like, no, he shouldn't have shot him.
Well, he's already been shot once by Ruby, though.
Right.
He's like, I've done enough family members.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so Pops, you know, brings up a good point. He says that, Dre, you did good because these children don't live in the fear that you grew up with. They don't have that. They're not looking over their shoulder. You know, they're sleeping with the windows open. Like, they don't. So you did good. Like, you've done good so far to protect them. Clearly, they're good. But this is a good point.
That's a great
good
point.
point.
That's a
Right.
great point, actually, because they both, you know, a mixture of Bo and Dre's, you know, combination of background or whatever have produced their children and the way that they live, and it's very balanced. Even though it's hilarious and comedic to watch, it is very balanced. So that's good. Good job, them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to get to a place where their kids will never have to know what it's like to feel violence or to watch over their shoulder. They can, you know, and when he says, you know, Junior's kids will never have to worry about that. That's what we want. That's what we're going for here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love
Beautiful
that.
moral of
little
the story.
lesson learned moment. Yeah. There you go.
All right. Let us know what you guys think. Make sure you use the hashtag ABTV Blackish. Leave your comments on the YouTube page because we want to know what you guys think about the show. We love the show. We think it's funny. So leave your comments. Let's go ahead and head over to predictions for the next episode.
And now, your AfterBuzz
There we go.
TV
I want to say it first. I don't have any.
Oh,
kidding.
shoot.
You were gonna say that? It's tough, but I mean, you know, every week we're like situational. I still want to talk about hair.
Yeah,
I love
braids
Zoe.
are gone.
I loved Zoe's hair this episode as well, and I loved it last week. So it's like, see,
They do need to talk about it because she's switching it. Like, you remember last season, her hair was always the same.
Yes.
They had like the little
Very specific
wands curls every episode. Now they're doing her natural curls, and then they did the braids. So now it's time to talk
I
about some
love
hair.
it. I want to talk about the hair. Yeah.
I want to see something different with Diane's hair.
Yes. I do too.
She's so young though. What do you want to see?
Maybe
Give her
her
some braids.
Yeah, or let her have her hair out. It's always like
Or a fro, yeah.
Something, yes.
Okay.
They don't ever have her hair.
She's so young. I mean,
What you not
I guess I thought because I was like, what did you want done in terms of like, do you want her looking like I just wasn't sure. I guess.
I'm not trying to give her no finger
weave
wave
right.
to the side with a little weave. But then
finger wave swoop. I hate you. What is
that?
Anyway,
Finger wave.
No. Her parents off screen would be like, no, please. I'm so sorry. No.
Right.
That's so funny. Okay, yeah, I can definitely see that. She's had her hair out a couple times last season. It was super cute.
Right. I just feel like that we just need to have a big talk about hair.
I love it. I want
to see. I do want to see a whole episode
because I love Tracee's
black hair.
Yes, I love Tracee's hair on the show as well. My goodness, she like all the styles, and even in this episode, she had like a 2 cornrows, and she had like the braid up. Like I'm really staring at it. I'm like loving it.
And then when she was asleep, it was like all in a bun and had the little baby hairs that like really looked like when you're about to go to sleep. Like your hair's.
And then Zoe had a scarf. On. Like this is what I'm saying. Like that. Right. Kenya Barrett, listen, you got us right. Like because that's what I look like. I need to be scarfed up before bed. Like
And do you guys know that Blackish is really pretty much about Kenya's family? I looked on his Instagram page. His wife's name is Rainbow, for real. Mm-hmm. They have like 5 kids.
I think it's
she's
a
doctor
between him and Anthony's family.
I think so. Yeah. And I was like, wow, his wife's a doctor. Kenya's wife's a doctor. They got a tribe of children. I mean,
I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yes. I think my prediction is going to be about the twins. I want to see something happen where Jack is not like the mischievous one, but Diane is. So kind of a switch between them, because it always seems like Jack's the one that gets in trouble, and she's like perfect. I want to see them switch. I want to see Diane get in trouble, be on the bad side of things.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like that because I know Jack will like it.
Right.
He's
right.
into it.
Well, let us know what you guys think. Where can we find you before we leave?
Wait, can we read a comment off of?
Oh yes. Wait. We have a comment.
Okay.
Comments from YouTube.
Comments from YouTube. So we have from the Slacker Elite. She said, or he said, I don't know. I'm sorry. Glad the show is back and the after show is too. I like the chemistry between the women on the panel. They are funny and insightful.
Oh my God, we love you.
Yay! Make sure you leave your comments. We do read them, even the mean ones. We will snap back. We're not going to snap back. We're nice girls. Where can we find you?
You guys can check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm also here on Thursdays doing How to Get Away with Murder, so I'll see you guys there.
Hello, everybody. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaprintace Lynn with 2 N's. And you can also find me here on Sundays for Survivor's Remorse After Show.
Nice.
Yeah. You can find me, Megan Thomas, at Meg Scoop on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope. Please hit me up because I really do want to see you guys at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. And you can catch me on AfterBuzz TV, sister station Black Hollywood, live every Friday doing the show Next, where we talk to all the upcoming Next actors and musicians and entertainers, all the people you need to know. Until next week, y'all. See you later.
Thank you. See ya.
Stay black.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Everybody say black.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.